All right, hey, it's Crockett 36 here. We are another interview, and I'm happy to report that Gamerman is back. Um, and one of the reasons he's back is he's going to introduce us to another uh, valid variant, a well-tested variant of Axis and Allies, and he's also going to update us on some exciting games he's involved with. Um, and I think you're going to like today's interview. Thank you. Welcome back, Gamerman. How are you doing today?
Thanks. Excellent day.
Good, good. And what I'm trying to figure out how to ask people this in a shorthand sort of way, but tell us about your board life. BOARD, not BORED.
Well, I can't get my 23-year-old son to make a Russia 1 on the classic game that's all set up in our basement. It's sitting there just very sad, waiting to be played with. So I've got buddies online who love to go toe-to-toe with me. And so I am playing against Adam 514 in a semifinals of a league playoff. And that is our first match ever. Also, I'm playing on the side a game with a modified, not the normal AAA map, for playing online with Oistilo.
So,
And
now
those
tell
go
me,
on for months.
sure, sure. Now tell me about the Adam. For people who don't know, is I think one of the better players in the world. Probably, maybe inching up there. I think I have asked you last time, and maybe somebody else, and his name keeps popping up. He's also one of the people who worked on AAA. Is that correct?
In the credits, he's listed as co-originator.
Yeah.
Yes. And I don't know if you want to talk about Adam now or later.
Yeah, now it's fine.
Oh, okay, that's great. So he's kind of a legend on our site. If there's an accessanallies.org or something like that in Hungary, and they put out their champion to face our champion, everybody would put Adam out, and we're pretty sure he'd win.
Uh,
So I have been playing my first game with him, and we're in round 10. And so I didn't know too much what to expect, but crisp moves, efficient, doing all the right things, measured, but yet, to my surprise, he can be quite aggressive. He doesn't sit back and just wait for you to make a mistake because of his superior play. He does go for it here and there. And unfortunately for me, the dice have blessed him on those
right.
stabs that he's made.
Sure.
So let's see. He was instrumental in the balanced mod. A lot of us in the league at ana.org, after we play maybe 20, 25 games of out of the box, kind of hungering for some modifications to it. And most of the league agrees with the mods that they have made in this balanced mod, and it has had staying power for I think about 9 years now. 7 or 9, still the most popular version of the game played in the league. We have 3 versions, with one being out of the box. You can sure come into our league at ana.org and start playing guys out of the box.
Now, uh, your game with Adam is the out of box, or is that the balance mod?
It's the
Champ.
balance mod.
Okay. Yep.
Once
What?
the balance mod came out,
Yep.
Adam has played 0 out of the box games.
Huh.
Of course,
Okay.
it's his baby.
Sure.
So
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yes, it's balanced mod.
What's the bid for balance mod for in your game?
It has, I think it's 22.
22.
He got me down to 22 with the allies. I know he didn't want the allies.
Oh, he
So
didn't. Oh,
no,
okay.
I don't think so. He's proud of his Axis, rightfully so. And
Let me shake my head and
I
say
know.
shame, shame, shame on you, Adam.
Now, you know what I'm going to do, Randy? My next strategic move is to move the USA tomorrow on the 4th of July. I usually like
Nice.
to do that. So maybe I'll get a little bit of luck there.
Well, That would be good. I would appreciate a little luck for the. This is Allied headquarters, so I'm always about seeing the good guys win. So good luck to you.
Thanks. I'm hoping that at some point during this session, you will indulge me in bringing up our current map.
Yes.
And it will make you cry because his Japanese fleet, well, he has two fleets that are the size of my American fleet.
Wow. Wow. So yeah. So yeah. Let's dive right in then. Let's dive into balance mode, and then we'll be able
Good.
to get to the place where we need to be. So I'm going to pull up that map, um, and then we'll be able to look at that. So just gonna,
Oh, we could do two things at once there, couldn't we?
yes, we could.
All right.
Sorry, let's see. I'm gonna go. You have what version do you have right now, by the way?
The 1.6, I think it's 1.6459 or something.
Okay.
Uh,
We'll see
oh,
if it's at all compatible. Of course, I can let you share a screen too, so
good.
that's fine too.
Okay.
But I'm going to bring up the balance mode, and then I'm going to go into the to the notes. I did take a look at them,
Yes.
and this is what a bunch of guys. Now, for any of you tabletoppers, you gotta make the shift that this is, let's say, a 30 round game, 20 to 30 round game. Is that inaccurate to say, Ted?
That's on the higher end.
Higher end. Okay.
Yeah. I'll brag a little bit. I have a lot of people quitting 4 to 7 rounds against me, but
4 to 7. Okay. All right. Wow.
your average game is probably 15.
15. Okay. All right. So as opposed to, for instance, a lot of times tabletoppers got about 10, 12 hours, and they're going to make turns 7, 8, maybe 9 if they're really ambitious. So yeah, let's take a look. So setup is the same, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
I can't
Setup
think
is the
of
same,
anything.
and okay. And I'm going to go into the. Should we go into the objectives first,
Yeah.
or the notes?
The objectives
Let's
is a
go into
great
the.
place to start. A lot of the
Let's go with
juicy,
the
wonderful things
objectives.
about Balanced Mod are the national objective changes they made.
Okay,
Mainly,
so I'm going
there's
to go from Germans from top to bottom.
yeah,
5, if not a war with Russia, same. 5 for each controlled Volgograd, Novgorod, Russia. 5 in the Caucasus. 5, 1 land unit in Egypt, and then 5 for controlled both Normandy, Denmark, and Norway. And Sweden is not allied, controlled, pro-allied. Now the 2 for each German-controlled Iraq, Persia, Northwest, and then here's the new one. 2 if Romania, Yugoslavia, Albania, Bulgaria, Greece, and Crete are Axis and pro-Axis controlled. So tell me, does that really come into play? Are the allies going? Are the allies going for Crete?
can you bring up those things on screen? So
Are you,
that
oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sharing the screen. Sorry about that. My
your
apologies.
viewers will need to see it.
Yes, I'm sorry. I thought I was sharing that screen.
And I'm gonna,
Let's see.
yep.
Exit minimize and share screen. My apologies, guys. Here I am enjoying it. Can you see it yet?
1
1%
second.
recording. Share screen. Multiple can share. You see anything, Ted?
No.
All right. Let's try this. Let's turn off screen sharing, and then we'll turn it back on. I can't move you. Okay, I'm going to do that. Hmm. the very place where it should be, I can't get to. Oh, here it is. So I'm going to stop screen sharing and then I'm going to start it up again.
Okay. It's worth the wait, guys. This is going to be really great.
So can you see it now?
No.
No. Are you perhaps maybe if you minimized yourself there, maybe it's underneath.
Okay, I'll try that.
Because it's showing up on mine. But stop. Let me just check here.
There.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay. So participants can now see your screen. Okay, don't know why it wasn't. Sorry about that, guys. I am still a bit new to this, but anyways, 10 in. Okay, so tell me whether or not that $2 for those for Crete and all of these right here, does that affect the meta at all?
Yes. You're diving right into the nitty gritty, actually. I'm going to sell the balance mod pretty well, but I've got a couple of pet peeves, and this is one of them. So they made the Mediterranean quite a bit more important than it was, and they made islands more important across the board. So Crete and Cyprus together with allied objectives and Axis objectives are really important now, and that's some people like it, I suppose. I don't, but that does affect. So I'll tell you right now, what Adam does something interesting here that nobody else does, and of course he created the mods. So I don't know has to do it. He will pop an airbase on Greece early and protect that zone 99 with Crete and Cyprus with planes.
No kidding.
That also protects zone 97 doubly.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, and so somehow I did manage to exterminate his Italian fleet, but boy, he sets it up to be hard to do.
Oh, as the Axis.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, so then 3 for the British, if you look in here on the right side, guys, 3 PUs for UK, Europe, if Malta, Crete, and Cyprus are allied or pro-allied controlled.
Okay, so there you have Crete. No, I'm sorry, you have Crete involved in 2 different NOs.
I like that. Okay, well, I at least I love about that. The big thing is I can't stand that out of box Novgorod is worth $7 for the enemy, but only $2 for the allies.
That's still true.
I know I know, but what I'm trying to say is that we have I like the spirit behind making these both an NO for the allies and the Axis.
Yep.
So I appreciate that. Okay, let's go to the Russians. I think there's significance here.
Very.
Okay, so 2 IPC PUs if Russia is at war with European Axis beyond round 2. Archangel is Russian controlled and Season 125 has no enemy warships. Northern routes 2 if Russia is at war with European Axis beyond round 2. Persia's allied controlled and Season 80 has no warships. 2 PUs if Russia is at war with the European Axis beyond round 2. Amur is Russian controlled and Season 5 has no enemy warships. Pacific route. Additional 2 for each Lend-Lease route that is open beyond round 2 if Japan has declared war on Russia. And then 3 IPCs if Russia is at war with the European Axis and there are no allied units in any originally Russian territories. Okay, and then 3 for each originally German, Italian, or pro-Axis neutral territory in mainland Europe that Russia controls. So I'm just going to say that I am impressed that we have other routes for Lend-Lease, and that and I mean, it looks like one of those would be viable at some point in the game, as opposed to out of box, where in general getting 5 IPCs for Lend-Lease is like a blue moon,
Mhm,
especially against better players.
mhm.
Um, and then I like the fact that Russia gets $3 without a connection to the C Zone 125. So I would definitely say that this is an improved. However, you're going to tell me that the good players are able to take care of all three of these routes pretty quickly.
You mean with the access to stifle them?
Yep.
No, they can't.
No. Okay. They can't. Okay.
And you're right, it's selling itself. These are brilliant changes with Russia. A big problem you're going to notice in out of the box after 10, 20 games is Russia just can't stop the blitz. They don't have enough money. They can't build their guys.
Yep.
And so if Germany actually can't steamroll Moscow, they just turn south and get Egypt or India, which is basically the winning strategy and out of the box, in my opinion.
Okay.
And India also, we'll get to this soon, but it is also pretty weak and out of the box. It can be crushed. We call it the India crush.
Sure.
Japan can take her out in 3 or 4 rounds if she so chooses. And um, then the Allies have a serious problem with the 6 victory cities in the Pacific. If India can be taken easily, then it's all about protecting Sydney or Hawaii. And I lost a game that way. And that doesn't feel like World War II. It's
No.
over when you lose Pearl Harbor and or Sydney, Australia.
No.
I lost a game where no major capitals were ever taken, and I did not like that.
No. Not a great feel. No. No. That's correct. So yeah, again, now you're what I'm reading here is that the
Mhm.
number one, two, three, fourth additional two for each route that is open beyond round two if Japan has declared war on Russia. So does that mean that you could earn $12?
Yes,
You can.
yes. That doesn't happen, but we do have to dive in here because this is one of the most brilliant changes of the balanced mod. You've noticed the 3 Lend-Lease routes. Now, each of those can be stopped with a submarine. If a Japanese leave a submarine off Amur, that will effectively nullify that two IPC Lend-Lease route right there. It can also be done in the Persian Gulf off of Iran. An Axis sub there will stop the Lend-Lease. So you could take the land or the sea with the Axis and stop that. In practicality, the Persia Lend-Lease of +2 is pretty much automatic for quite a few rounds. The Axis aren't going to disrupt that. Let's back up. What is going on here is an issue that has been grappled with since Alpha 1, all the way back to when G40 was being developed. And that is, how do we simulate the Sino-Russo relationship, Japan and Russia?
Sure.
If we don't have any rules around that, Japan's just going to invade Russia and start taking some territories. And when in the real war, you know, they had a standoff and never actually went to war.
Sure.
So I remember in Alpha 2, in development to get to the actual out of the box game, I think, you know, Larry Harris's rule or the development team tried an instant bonus of cash to Russia or Japan of 12 IPCs if one declared war on the other. So if Russia wanted to go after Japan, Manchuria, Korea, and they declared war, the penalty for that was an instant 12 IPCs to Japan's bank account. So that did not last, but the balance mod captures the essence of that. Japan versus Russia makes it a big, interesting decision for each side whether they're going to declare war on the other. So basically what happens is, if Russia declares war on Japan, Russia can never get those bonus twos.
Okay.
If Japan declares war on Russia, there's a bonus two. But generally, if Japan declares war on Russia, she's taking Amur, And so that leaves two of the three Lend-Lease routes. So you have +2 to Persia, +2 to the Archangel route. And as we all know, Germany can stop the Archangel route with a sub off Norway.
Right.
So effectively, you're looking at a double Persia, so a +2. And not to mention the fact that Japan is gobbling up Russian ground then, and that helps negate. So I probably went a little fast there, but basically they as you said, they have three Lend-Lease routes instead of one. And if Japan attacks Russia, the Lend-Lease that are still open are doubled. And of course, if Japan bungles and Russia ends up getting a mirror back, well, then you got another four.
And of course, if you were doing a KJF strategy, you could certainly see the what I call the pizza dough approach. That this is another aspect in which Japan has no choice but to divide. Now we got 18 units here, and suddenly Russia has no choice not only to protect itself, but it also has to be aggressive in the north. That's going to make being defensive against an American fleet, as well as trying to press into China, as well as trying to protect the money islands or get the money islands and then protect them, as well as trying to get. You can quickly see how this increases the thins the pizza dough even more. Huh. Very good.
Well, those are the Lend-Lease routes. There's a little more, I think you started to notice, a big deal with the Russian NOs in out of the box. It's a +5 or a 0 where you have to have no allies in Russia.
Right.
You have to have Archangel controlled. You have to have that zone off Norway.
Yep.
They broke it up here, and I love this change.
Yes.
Where you will get money if there are no allies in Russia, you'll get 3.
That's awesome. So pretty much you are getting 5, 7, pretty solidly. You're going to get $7 at some point in time, which is more than you would get in out of box. That's for sure.
And this is a big deal. Again, I know you like, and I like, most of us like, the game to, I don't want to use the word simulate, but to mirror World War II somewhat. And if
Yes.
Russia is getting crushed, that does not mirror World War II.
No, it doesn't.
With the balanced mod, Russia is pretty strong, appropriately strong to where, Stalingrad's probably going to fall. Of course, it didn't in real life, but the struggle is a lot closer to what it really was. So Germany
Nice.
can't just plow into Moscow or into the Middle East.
Good. All right, let's move on to the Japanese. 10 PUs, if not at war with the USA, has not attacked or taken control of French Indochina, has not declared war on UK or Anzac. Now, that is the same. Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah,
5 if Axis controls Dutch New Guinea, New Britain, and Solomon. That is new. 5 for each Axis controlled territory: Hawaii, India, New South Wales, Western. That is not new. 5 if Axis control all of Sumatra, Java. That's the Money Islands. That's not new. This is new. 5 if Midway, Wake Island, and Guam are Axis controlled, and 3 if Japan controls Okinawa and Iwo Jima now that, and is at war with the United States. So that's a gimme. So that's a little bit of little kiss to Japan just for being Japan. So wow. So that obviously changes the meta where I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not the best Japanese player in the world for sure, but this sounds like a tall order. Obviously, if someone is going full, I would think this is the answer to those who say, well, let's kill Germany first, and give away $15, $18 with the possibility of 23. it sounds like KGF, Kill Germany First, is going to be rarer than, someone who completely leaves the Pacific open like you see sometimes in out of box. It's just not going to happen. Is that correct?
Yes, I don't know about the latest strategies in out of the box. I can see going after Japan because the 6 victory cities, especially with India being very vulnerable, is a big threat.
Sure.
In the balance mod, we don't have that, but overall for Global 40, one of the wonderful achievements of this game, of this board with the dual victory conditions is you can't really do a KGF or a KJF or you're gonna lose.
Right. Right. Yep. Yep. Okay, good. So the island hopping is not only a thing, it is a necessary thing. And little things like Wake, Marshall and Johnson, I think. Did I see that in there? Awake and Guam and Midway are big deals. Okay, let's go to the Americans. Let's get some Americans some money. 10 if USA is at war. That's same. 5 if USA is at war. Alaska, Aleutians, Hawaii, and Johnson and Line. So that can be taken away pretty easily with the Aleutians being a simple transport away. That's the same though. 5 if USA is at war, Mexico, Central America, all that. Okay, so 5 if at war in the Philippines, same. 5 if one land unit in France, same. If 5 if American allies control 2 of the following: Normandy, Holland, Belgium, southern France, and USA has at least one land unit in any of these
Gotta
territories. So
love that one.
you what?
You gotta love that one.
Yes, yes. Finally making it worth it to fight a battle where your supply lines are 2 turns away and his are 1 step or 2 steps away. So yes, you have to love that one. 5 if Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia are allied control and the USA has at least 1 land unit. So another $5. Awesome. 5 if Midway, Wake, and Guam are allied control. Okay, so here again, we have the flip side of the Japanese. This is an allied as well as an axis. And I love that it mirrors. That's what it should be.
Difficult for either side to get because Guam is too close to Japan.
Yes. Yeah. 5 if Marshall, Caroline, Palau, and Marianas are allied control. So awesome with the, I believe that's, is it Nimitz that went that way?
Right.
I believe he was the one that went that way. And then what's his name there? MacArthur went the southern route. So this is great. More money for America. And I mean, of the obviously $10 worth of extra bonuses. No, 12. No, $10 worth of extra bonuses for Europe, $10 worth of extra bonuses for the Pacific. So awesome.
So they were noting that US just didn't get enough money in out of the box to get the oomph. And players like you and me want the US to be the rich one and
That's
want
sure.
some points out. I will note that Marshall, Caroline, Palau, and Marianas is a great combination because they surround the Carolines, and in this game, the Japanese cannot bring nearly as much to Zone 33 of the Carolines if they can't land in any of those islands.
Gotcha. I remember watching a game with Farm Boy, and he started doing suicide transports to all these little islands. And I asked him back channel why he was doing that, and he said for landing bases. And this is a game with Andrew A. Gamer where Andrew had eventually 33 aircraft off of French Indochina, and all of them, of course, aimed at the Carolines and waiting for Farm Boy to make one mistake. It's an intense game that a Farm Boy eventually pulled out. For the Chinese, 3 PUs and may build artillery if allies control India, Burma, Yunnan, and Sichuan. So that is nerfing China a little bit. So
Oh, hold on.
tell me about
Yep.
that.
This is a wonderful change. The offsetting, there's a new rule in China, and this is a big deal. Any territory in China that's inland, that the Axis control must be garrisoned with at least one ground unit. If it's not, a Chinese man will pop up on that territory and take it over. So
Wow,
Chinese will come out of the ground and
love
doesn't
that.
make sense. And so the other is when it's 6 in out of the box, that's great, but as soon as you lose one of those territories, you're getting 0. And you do not have the China garrison rule. So this slows down Japan considerably from the India crush. So
Ah,
in my opinion, the two gaping problems of the out of the box game are
sure,
India, Moscow too weak.
sure.
And they fix that.
Excellent. You know what I love about that is, I mean, when you look at his history behind this, neither the Japanese nor the Germans, for the Russians for that matter, utilized the resources in these areas because they were so cruel to the populace, and obviously, and they devoted so many troops to suppressing the populations that it encouraged obviously resistance movements. So I would say I have to say, clap my hands for that. It's very good. It's very good. Okay, let's go to UK. Three PUs if the UK Pacific controls all of its original territories. So that's a decrease from 5, but he's also 3 if UK Europe controls Sicily, Sardinia, Greece, southern Italy, and allies have at least one land unit in any of these territories. That's obviously a very late game. Three IPCs for UK Europe if there are no enemy subs. So right there, excluding 112 and 127 through 125
So
through
hugging the
127.
European coastline doesn't count.
Very good.
This is the
Okay.
Wolfpack NO, where if you can get a sub out there in the Atlantic that doesn't get sunk with the Axis, you disrupt Allied shipping and 3 IPCs.
All right. And do you see that taken seriously? In other words, are there
Yes.
tricky ways to keep a allied sub out there and
An
annoy the
Axis
heck?
sub? Yes,
Yes.
it's interesting that you say that. Go up there into, I think it's Baffin Bay up there in northern Canada. Keep going northwest, northwest. Yeah, I don't know what the number is there, but just north of Ontario.
North of Ontario. Okay.
So to the east from here. Yep. So you see that? Get a sub in there and the Allies are gonna be upset.
Wow.
Pretty
That's
hard to
annoying.
get in there and sink it.
That is annoying. All right.
Adam went around the Horn of Africa with the Japanese sub, came up the west side and started disrupting my UK NO with the Japs.
Wow. How far does it have to go down? All the way to the Atlantic? Is all the way over here?
Nope, just basically get on the west side of Africa, and huddling in 112 doesn't count. Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
off West Germany.
Very good.
So that's a really cool one.
Yeah, that is. I like that. And it looks like 6 as opposed to 5 is pretty doable. And then the last one, 3 IPCs if UK has Malta, Crete, and Cyprus. So that looks fairly doable as well. Obviously, you got to occupy transports with those. Probably mid game, maybe after you've subdued the Mediterranean, which we've already noted is going to be more of a fight. UK Pacific, if UK controls Kwangtung and Malaya and is at war with Japan, same. 3 if UK controls West India and either Egypt or the Union of South Africa is allied controlled and no enemy ships in the western half of the Indian Ocean. So that looks like a bonus that is fairly easy to achieve, at least early to mid game, or early game, I should say. So right here, we're going to get one for West India as well as Egypt or South, and no. So the Japanese subs have to beat feet down here quick as possible. All right. Well, that's a little more money. It,
That's a big deal. You know, you play out of the box a few times, you find that India's collecting five or two because India's getting convoyed for three. You're collecting two for West India. That extra three is an extra man per turn. That's a
sure,
big deal.
that is excellent. Um, Italians, five if no allied ships in the Med, five if you control Gibraltar, Egypt, Southern or and Greece, three of them. Same. Five if you control Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, Tobruk, and Alexandria. That's new, right? Is that
Yeah,
right?
I'm
Yeah.
looking at an out of the box version of AAA where they actually have all of them side by side, so I can tell you for sure that is new, and I believe that was like an AA50 NO where across North Africa, Italy got a +5. So if they can get all the way from Morocco to Egypt, not counting Egypt, give them a +5 for that.
Huh, okay. And that's if you included Egypt, that would be one of Grasshopper's bonus in his version. Two for each Italian controlled territory, Iraq, Persia, same, Northwest Persia, and then three, and then the Malta, Crete, Cyprus.
Yeah.
So that's a potential three plus, um, I'm assuming three, three plus, is it, oh, right there, right there. Sorry. No, no, I thought it was a German bonus.
And it
No,
looks like
unless,
out of the box in Morocco to Alexandria. I don't see the difference there.
oh, Alabax has that for Italians.
Yeah, what I'm looking at.
Okay, okay. Mistaken there.
It's just missed twice or something. So they
Right.
basically just added Malta, Crete, Cyprus.
Gotcha. Okay, Anzac, five if Anzac controls Malaya, Anzac controls original territories, war with Japan, yep. Um, and then that's five in the original. And then three if the Allies not, including Dutch control of Dutch, New Guinea, New Britain, and Solomons, and the Anzac is at war. That's a new one or modified. That's a modified one. And three if the Allies control all of Solomon, Gilbert, Fiji, Samoa, and that's a new one for sure. So normally you might hope to get 10 if you controlled Dutch New Guinea there. And then if Japan didn't go for Malaya, you'd hope for that for $10. So this is a little less, but also a little more secure because you're going to lose that Malaya pretty fast.
So
And
the
then it,
three automatic with those islands to the east and northeast, those are automatic. And then people will try to grab that Dutch New Guinea, and then they're getting a +6 instead of a +5.
gotcha. Okay, good. All right. And then France, same, looks to me.
Yep.
And then victory conditions, same. Okay.
Nope.
No,
Nope.
nope.
A slight change, and you could call it an optional rule. So I don't want to make balance mod sound complicated because it's not. But the victory condition, they take down Rome, Berlin, or Japan, then you get extra time on the other side. So if you take Berlin, the Japanese have to get 7 cities instead of 6. So that does kind of encourage a little more focus on one theater than the other, and it kind of addresses the whole. I just lost the game because Japan took Sydney, but the Germans are exterminated and the Russia's a beast, but I just lost because the Japanese took Sydney.
Huh. Are you looking at the victory conditions? For some reason, I don't see that.
Those don't appear to be updated.
Okay, they're probably not updated. Okay, all right.
It's 9. You got to get 9 in Europe. You got to get 7 in Pacific. If you manage to take down the major capital on the other side of the board, you get a little extra gas in the tank.
Okay, so if you if the Allies take down Rome,
Yep.
you have to get 7 in the Pacific.
And yeah, but the Axis can take Rome back, and then it's back to 6.
Got back to 6. Okay, all right, good. What so tell me, So, whereas, would you focus more on the Pacific or the Atlantic, which are pretty
Uh,
evenly splits?
I am very even,
Very even.
pretty
Okay.
much every game, um, which is great. It feels less gamey.
Yes. Okay. Now there's a troop. There's a
Oh yeah, Marine.
yeah. Let's talk about the units.
Sure.
I don't know if there's any Marines turn one.
No.
Um, okay.
So I'll go real fast. I actually noticed today they have some complications in the marine rules that I have never seen come into play. So we'll skip them and balance mod. It's not complicated. You don't have to make it complicated. The Marines are. I think they've been in the CD-ROM game before. Iron
Oh
Blade
yeah.
20 years
Yep.
ago. So you buy them for 5. Here's the big thing: you can load them on a battleship or a cruiser, so it makes
That's right.
battleships and cruisers a little more valuable.
Yes.
Um, and people still don't buy them, but um, they you offload them on an amphibious assault. They attack at a 2 every round. They don't need artillery support. They're going to attack at a 2. So that's the that's really the punchline right there.
Okay. And I'm bringing up the game notes right now. So,
Oh, good.
just to let you know, so so that's amazing because you know I always say my opinion about transports and aircraft carriers in some ways is that they are a poison that you have to drink. Um, you have to drink it, but um, they're necessary. So the fact that you can load them onto cruisers and destroyers is pretty awesome.
Actually,
So the
would you pull up and give a quick shout out to the guys in the credits there?
Yes, thank you. Okay, Adam 514, co-originator and Oracle, regular kid, aka Dude with Opinions, co-originator and King of Noobs, Deathbringer 1974, Chief Executive Troll, Dust, Good at Math, DSS 85 playtest, and Game Breaker, Jen Kerr, General Haha, Reed Drum, XML High Priest, Simon 33, Bug Chaser, and Young Grasshopper Topper Goodwill Ambassador. So very good. Thank you. I always, when I'm when I'm reading a book, I always read the author and the illustrator to my grandkids because or my when my kids were there because I think that's really important. So thank you for reminding me of my responsibility there. Revised air raids. Fighters attack and defend at 2. Strat bombers and tactical bombers attack at 1.
That's
Go
a
ahead.
big deal.
That is a big deal. And yeah, I would think that you would see that a good bit because am I right in saying that bombers cost? Is this the one bombers cost more?
That's the last rule they tacked on. They did change price of bombers to 14, but I would say that's for people who are just trying out the balanced mod, you could leave that alone at 12 also. The 14 was a response to what some felt was a game-breaking strategy to just buy lots and lots of $12 bombers with Germany or the US. Germany could look off the Allied fleets to the west while terrorizing the Russians to the east all at once. And for $12, that was just too powerful.
Yeah, yeah. If I were ever to get my dream Access Knowledge version, you would have some different no, every and it's complicated. It would complicate things absolutely, but every nation would have different
Yeah.
powers. For instance, the Germans never developed a 4-engine bomber, so I wouldn't ever give the Germans a range of 6, and I would not let them attack at 4. Um,
Yeah.
so, so I believe are they the ones that attack at 2? Roll 2 dice at 2, or is that BBR? I'm thinking of. Our bombers change at all for their attack value? Ted, you there? Did we lose you? I will be patient. Let me just see if he's there. Oh, there's my daughter when she was younger. It's a great picture. Okay. Let's see if we can get him back. I'm going to maximize this. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, here. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so, okay, I stopped sharing for a minute, so I will get back into that.
We can go longer than 40 minutes, right?
Yes, we can. Let me, let's see here. Are you still seeing the screen?
No, unfortunately.
Okay, I just have to, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna do share screen. Tell me when you can see that.
Okay. Not yet.
Okay. All right. I'm going to close. No, I can't close that. Okay. No, I don't want to close that. My computer's yelling at me right now. Can't see it yet.
Did you say I can share mine?
Yes, you can. Go ahead and try that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
If you go to the notes,
To what?
to notes, game notes.
See it.
Let's see. You able to do it?
Waiting. I couldn't get my new computer to work with the camera, so I'm using a slower one. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I have definitely have a slower one.
New.
Okay.
Do I go to new?
New what?
In the
New.
notes screen, I'm not sure what.
Let's see here. Just flipping between these two. I am not sure.
We might be able to just go without the text now, since we're off of MLOs.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. You could always read them. Yep, go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's see. We've covered that, and that. So Bombers up to 14, real quick. We talked about this before. That was probably a little bit much of an adjustment because nobody's buying them except for me.
Oh, really?
And I don't buy very many, which makes me sad. So it probably should be 13. Then we can move on. Okay, we're gonna skip that.
Capital capture.
Yeah, this is a really cool feature. So everybody loves in Axis and Allies how you take a capture and you take all their money and they can't build anything. And when they take it back, they still can't build anything. They have to hold it. And that's still true. But we added, I shouldn't say we, they added a limit of one-time plunder. So out of the box, you're gonna have a problem with France. A lot of times you don't want to liberate it because the Germans will take it back and steal the money they just collected. So people hate that's fixed because France gets plundered on G1, which means never again.
Right.
India could be a problem. You lose India. This happened to me in the Atom game. I take it back in the balanced mod. If he takes it back, he doesn't get the money again. It's just destroyed. It is destroyed, but the money can only be stolen once.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good. Excellent. Revised victory conditions we already talked about. Revised bomber costs. New Marines. So the Marines cost 5. Attack at 1. Defend at 2. They attack at 2 during amphibious assaults. No bonus from artillery, but they can be loaded onto cruisers and battleships, 1 per ship.
And then we can skip the deets there.
Sure.
I didn't even know about them. I've played quite a few games of Balance Mod. I didn't even know those Marine details. I don't know if they had that come after that. So we can move on.
Okay. All right. I'm seeing only the okay, it says here an Axis power may not move its units into originally Russian territory unless that Axis power is at war with Russia. Also, when not at war with Japan, Russia may not move its units into any non-Russian allied territory in Asia other than Syria, Transjordan, Iraq, Persia, Northwest Persia, East Persia. The national objective for Russia's first capture of Berlin has been removed. Okay. So I think that means that if the Italians move into East Poland, the Germans can't move in. Is that
Right, it
correct?
takes away the Italian cheese.
So bad. Yeah, so bad. I appreciate that, Adam, wherever you are, and kid, regular kid.
I think he's too
It's
cool to watch us, but that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Well, I appreciate it. I always give people a hard time, and I call them to be honorable because
Mhm.
that is so cheesy. It's
They just
crazy.
made the rule, so the dishonorable people can't do it.
Okay. Um, okay, this is the definition. At the start of China's turn, a Chinese unit is spawned in each non-coastal Chinese territory under Axis control that is not garrisoned by at least one Axis land unit. So not land unit, not just fighters, infantry, marine, mech, infantry, artillery, armor. These guerrillas engage in combat whenever they are spawned and may not be moved until China's next turn. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to give this a whirl. Okay, it does say here. Oh no, that's the same. Vichy, France. Tell me more about Vichy,
Okay,
France.
I'm prepared for this one. This has a lot of details that we are not going to cover. I will tell you a quick summary. Um, this is an optional rule I mean, they made it optional. They understand that players may not want to have this in play. And I'm thinking that's probably what I should start doing. So Vichy France is an option for the Axis to try to establish the Vichy government. And a big reason, there's a couple reasons they would want to do this. One is the starting French ships off of Toulon,
Yep,
South France,
sure.
are instantly turned to pro-Axis neutral. So they are not French, they're not allied anymore. So Italy doesn't have to attack those ships. They are not a threat. They can't be controlled by the Axis, they just sit there. Another big thing about it is if you can activate it, which I can quickly describe, but if you can activate it, the French territories and men all go pro-Axis neutral. So if the Axis can go claim those formerly French territories, they get the money, they get the French man without a fight. So there's some incentives there for the Axis to set up the Vichy government. The French turn from enemies to friends,
Hmm.
basically.
Wow.
So the way you activate that quickly is generally you want to do it in round one. It can be done later, but it's kind of misses the point. So you prevent French one on by the end of Italy's turn. If the Axis have Paris and Normandy, so they leave South France untouched. They conquer Normandy and France proper. And there are no allied units in South France. No other allied units. Then the Vichy France is in play. So the Allies can stop this before the end of Italy won by leaving ground units in South France, by taking Normandy back from, if Germany takes Normandy, UK could take it back. That stops Vichy France. Unless Italy makes a daring move to go take Normandy. Now I'm getting into too many details. That's Vichy France. It's basically an Axis option to turn blue France into pro-Axis France.
And how do you, as an allied player, react to that? Is it just a
Oh,
sad
I love
sad
that.
sad day, or do you?
Nope. So it's a real, there is one more. Okay, so there's a very devastating, tricky thing that can happen to the Allies, and I got hit by it once. Any Allied aircraft that are sitting in French territories when
Yeah.
this weapons are destroyed.
destroyed.
That's really
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
So you can prevent this option, virtually prevent it by securing Normandy before Italy goes. So if Germany leaves Normandy alone, then you've got two French guys there. UK can bolster them with that transport, and it's too much for Italy to feasibly take.
Right.
Because Italy only has a tank that can reach it and some aircraft. So if you have 4 units sitting there, Italy can't really try that.
Huh.
Um, Otherwise, if you can't do the Normandy stop, then you can transport from Egypt, the transport at Egypt up to Zone 93, South France. You can drop a couple of ground units there, and any Allied ground units in South France makes it out of play. So that hampers the Allies, the Vichy option does. And so I was just thinking about that today. The bid for the Allies wouldn't need to be quite as big if you don't play with Vichy France rules, because it hampers the UK on UK1. They can burn a transport or a couple ground units to stop this Vichy option thing. That's a handicap that's not there otherwise.
What about I mean, obviously the Italian fleet is now able to
Uh-huh.
devote devote itself entirely to destruction of. I mean, it's cut. You are you are pressed. I mean, can you even avoid attacking um, Taranto in this case? I mean, that's a tall order.
Yeah, so it makes the Allied turn around one harder. And now, it's fun to have those options in play. It's pretty cool how all of it works. But the B in BM is balanced. So they're trying to keep bids down, and Vichy increases the bids. So interesting thought we hit on there, but you catch on fast. With the Vichy option, if Italy is able to execute it, Germany plus Italy, um, Italy doesn't have to. They have zero threat from the destroyer and cruiser at South France, so they can focus on other things. It's a big deal.
Huge.
And oh, by the way, the wonderfully nice German friend of mine, player who just killed me with Vichy, uh, he attacked the two French units on Normandy with Italy, with a tank and some planes. So the tank has to survive. So normal to take control. So normally you would lose planes. Well, he got lucky and lost nothing. And I had forgotten, or I figured it was safe. So I had 2 or 3 British fighters on Syria. Poof, gone.
Uh,
Now, I still came back and beat him, but that was rough.
wow. Well, I look forward to seeing your game. Unfortunately, I'm having some problems with sharing right now. I think
Uh,
my computer might be maxed out, but
there is
I can't.
another, you reminded me, there's another big cheesy play and out of the box that balanced mod abolishes.
Thank you,
That
please.
is the Russian NOs with taking Axis territories in the Europe map. Um,
Oh yeah.
so in out of the box, and I have this is going on with me right now with Oistilo. He runs down and grabs those 4 Italian territories in Africa, and he's going to get
Yes.
13 a turn with Russia, and that's terrible for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
With me with the bad guys. So African territories don't count, and balanced mod's got to be Europe.
Huh.
No spreading communism in Italian Somaliland.
Yeah. I'm. You know, I thought when I first saw that, and I think it was Trolpin actually that introduced me to that, and he was very good at that, and I appreciated it in the sense that it is really the most powerful, the most powerful bonus in the game. But um, but on the other, I see how it's ahistorical, but there are so many other things that are ahistorical that
No, don't do that
I
on me.
forgave it.
Don't do that on me.
So, anyways, I did forgive it, but I do appreciate that. I was hoping that might give me a little more. When you do the virtual background, you lose a little bit of bandwidth. So
No.
I was hoping that would give me back my sharing screen, but I can't get it to go off, which means I can't get it to turn it back on.
If I can figure out how to do it on my end, but you said
Yeah,
notes and I don't know what to do.
yeah, shucks. Okay, well, I think we might call it that for the night. Thank you so much. You have made a good case.
I try.
I do think that I I I'll give it a swing. I give everything a swing. I was in 42 this last week. I had a game of 42, global 42, not the online 42, and I liked it. I mean, everything can use a bid, um, and we had a fun game. It got interrupted by something, but it was fun, and I like the setup. It's a challenge. It's new. Uh, so what
Yeah,
I'm always concerned about is translatableness,
yeah,
and this is fairly translatable for a guy who goes to the game store, picks up a
yeah.
copy. He's trying to play by himself. He goes on to
Mhm.
accessanalyze.org and he finds a lot of people are playing balance mode, and this is the video for him to try to understand, well, what's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
A couple
I
things.
hope we help. I hope we've helped.
Yeah. So when you try out balance mod, I don't want you to hate it. So don't go in and play somebody who's played 30 games of balance mod. Find somebody else who's like to try it too,
Sure.
who's used it out of the box. Otherwise,
Sure.
you're not won't have a level playing field. And regardless, don't play with the Vichy rules.
Yeah.
Add those when you get bored, which won't.
Right. Right. Now I gotta shoot. I gotta take a shot at you and say, do you play with technology? And is balance mode play with technology?
There you go. Um, yeah, so those are
Do do,
the
do you use technology in balance mode? Or
no,
okay, is there anybody who does?
no.
Ah!
The game is too long to get to round 8, and the other guy gets long range aircraft and destroys you all at once because he rolled a 6.
I'll tell you, there was a situation. I could tell like 5 different technology stories
Hmm.
where one day they were flying B-17s, went over this mission over the city. Fantastic, succeeded, everything was good. Next night they went over the same city and they had new technology that synced the spotlights with the anti-aircraft. They were devastated. All because of what? A technology change. And guess what? The enemy, for some reason, didn't give them warning. Happened all the time. Sorry, suck it up, Buttercup.
It doesn't sound like you've played 30 hours in a G40 game and gotten destroyed by a technology roll.
No, I have had my share of bad luck, but what I like to say is I eat bad luck for breakfast. So I love the game, and when something like that happens, you learn. Obviously, if anybody has the shot at long range aircraft, the good strategist has to say to himself, "That might happen to me." So it would just make play longer and more conservative, and yeah, it just make it a little more uh, realistic, immersive. So, anyways, so that's my sale.
There's the thing with long range aircraft is, but if you're playing online, um, there's too many things to prepare for there.
Yeah,
It makes your turn so much harder trying to prepare for that. Um, even in AA50, I came up with a house rule that people liked, that we added one movement point instead of two to long range aircraft. It was otherwise, yeah. So anyway, Yeah, I'm in a couple of good games right now. They're not over, but if you yeah, it's too bad you can't share the screen and
Yeah, I'm
see what
having
you think
issues. Not sure
about
why.
my pyramid. Um
Wait. Okay. I just pulled up on something. I don't know why I got this. Do you see anything right now?
I see that you started screen sharing and oh
Why did that do that? I don't know why. Let me see if I get to the other. Mm, don't know what I did. I hate that. Let's see here. Let's see. Do hide self view. That shows you. Exit full screen. Uh, Okay. Exit full screen again. Uh, escape. Escape. Okay. Let's do this. Let's escape. I'm pretty good at this, but I'm not great. It's underneath the thing. Uh, I should be able to do it. Let me see here. Hmm. That's my wife and I at apple picking a long time ago. Oh, you started sharing. Did you
yeah.
start sharing? Hey,
Yeah,
I
I
can
just
see
share
you.
screen. It kind of made sense, so I tried that. Now if I could see, okay,
Do you know what you
okay.
did?
I just did some share button at the bottom.
Oh, cool. Okay, good. Go ahead, go for it. Show me.
So here we go. This is round 10. Time for America to go. I have been AAA tracks the total IPC value of all units on the board.
I see that.
I'm allies. Adam is Axis. Going
Excellent.
into the America turn, I'm only up by about 160, which is
Uh,
for the allies. I need to be up by more than that.
yeah, you do.
So I am in Europe. I'm struggling with he's doing the stacks right now. He's in Caucasus and Northwest Persia. So he's got the three-way fork going on right now. He could threaten to go help Japan with India, and then Japan would only need Sydney or Hawaii. He could go down to Egypt, where I earlier built a complex. So if he takes control of that, I'm done
Yeah,
for.
right.
And he still, maintains his pressure on Russia. But you know what? Let's look at this. I'm in round 10 and look at my Russian forces. I'm not bragging on myself. I'm saying, look at what balanced mod does for your Russia.
Sure, sure.
He's not taking me down anytime soon.
Right.
So it gives you, yeah, your games don't just end early because Russia can't hold up. You will not see many bombers on the board. Adam hasn't bought a single one.
I don't see many tanks. Oh, there's the
Yeah,
no, no, Adam is not a tank buyer, huh?
he did buy three in Leningrad a few turns ago, so he's got 15 down here instead of like 12. Um, but no, I guess if I talk just as things come to my mind,
Mhm.
uh, Adam shocked me one turn when he controlled the three factories in Russia, and he only built one unit in the
Oops.
three combined. So
Oops.
uh, I got a little breath of fresh air there. I guess he
Yeah,
was looking off the. So what I've seen from all the best players is they will let the allies amass in the English Channel for a few turns until they start to really threaten Norway and Denmark, because that's just such a weak point. Then you got to worry about Berlin. They will
sure.
just pop up a fleet one turn all of a sudden. They'll buy two or three
Uh,
carriers all at once and just say, no, you're not coming here.
hmm.
So Adam did that. He's built his Atlantic wall. I'm usually pretty aggressive there. I thought about a 1-2 attack with the US and Britain. He had just enough. So I maintained my threat instead of using up my transports and dropping my allied units there. Let's see. So like you talked about those med NOs. So in balanced mod, it's a big deal. You fight over those. I was able to get after the Italians early. And he, like I said, he snapped up Crete and Cyprus by putting this air base in Greece early to protect those.
Hmm.
I was able to eventually find a little crack in his armor and took over Greece. And I built an air base in Crete with the American, which was
Wow.
fun. Which is, as you can see right now, there's 3 UK fighters in Greece. There's 2 Australian fighters in Crete to
Hmm.
protect my little transport fleet that he would love to sink, but he just couldn't quite do it with five planes.
Wow.
So I've got Italy subdued, but I don't know that that's gonna be well. We've got to struggle. I've been losing the whole game, but I've been holding the same losing margin the whole game.
Huh.
India's been interesting. He went for a quick India crush early,
Yeah.
very early. In fact, what's that?
Yeah.
This is an interesting thing here. His J, he actually declared war on J1, which is
Oh,
rare.
yes, it
Uh,
is.
and so what he does, this is his opening move. Like I think he does the same thing every time because it's like perfect. So he takes Borneo. Adam does not give away transports. I've never seen anything like it. He
Huh.
buys 3 transports with Japan on round 1, and then he doesn't buy transports with anybody.
Wow.
Just protects them all. So he just takes Borneo. Now he's set up. Yeah, guess what? He's got 3 transports, 3 money islands to take. I saw and scouted him out a little bit in other games. He likes to go take those other 3 money islands. So I thought he was going to do that. But what I did, this is end of round 1. I really like to get these 3 Australian planes that you start with, get them to the Asian mainland, get them up there to meet the Italian can openers.
Sure.
Because the Australians can kill them. They can also help defend India or Moscow. So
Sure.
I had to go in. I even took the Indian transport down here to pick up a couple guys. Max, I even flew the Indian Air Force down here to Java.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
just enough to protect it. And so he had to lay off there. And all I succeeded in was he's like, oh, you're not going to give me the money islands? Well, I'm going to do, wait a minute. Um, he can do an India crush. So he
Right.
skips that. And look what he did. He loves to build this air base and naval base in French Indochina. So his J1
Yeah.
gives him the ability to take French Indochina immediately. Round 2, he pops up an air base and a naval base. Well, he's got an IC there too.
What is
And
what's the big deal about the naval base there? I mean,
uh,
I saw Andrew A. Gamer loves the air base and factory there too.
yeah,
What's the sea base about?
getting to the Carolines in one move.
I mean, you could go to Malaya and you're
Oh, no, there's 2. He can, right now, it's to get to India in a single move. So this is an India crush.
huh.
He built 3 transports in Japan.
Those are lagging. Okay.
Yep, moves him down here round 2.
Gotcha.
Set up for a round 3 India crush. He's got 6 transports, and hello, he built a Marine on round 1, so he's going to throw in another man. He's got with the air base, he's got all these planes. I mean, you're looking at the best in the world right here, sir.
Hmm.
He's got every plane in range of India. India is supposed to be crushed, but I'm pretty good too. So I I get everything back to India without those 3 Australian planes boldly going to Java immediately. India is crushed.
Wow.
So he had a risky attack on India where he could take it with very high odds, but with heavy losses.
Yeah.
Guess what? The master lays off. He's like, I'm gonna get it later. Uh, But I did put him out of position a little bit because he didn't take all the money islands, nor did he crush India like he wanted to do one of those
Yeah,
2.
yeah.
And I stopped both of those. Uh,
Congratulations. That's good stuff.
Thanks. But his gambit goes for about 5 or 6 turns, his perfect gambit. So just staying alive after that. an accomplishment.
Huh.
So that's the India story. Some of the highlights then were, um, well, let's see. I did an early daring airstrike on his Italian can openers. Let's see if I can find that. Was that round 3? So how'd that work? Okay, so right here, this is early in round 3. He kind of left his Italian can openers naked here. And
Ah,
he's got AA here in Bessarabia and Baltic states, so there's no good targets for Russia. Going up to Karelia or Vyborg is a fool's errand because my men are going to be needed to pull back, and these guys aren't going to get there for a while. So he's baiting me there. And so he's got all the Italian can openers. I think he maybe kind of overlooked were vulnerable. So I took all 3 Russian fighters to attack these, and that was risky, but I'm playing the best in the world, so I better do
sure.
it.
Right.
Took them out, but I lost 2 Russian planes
Oh
when
man.
expected was 1. So that was bad. And then you know what I did with this Italian tank here in Yugoslavia? I swooped down with an American bomber on London. Hold on, I had to set this up. So the bomber doesn't have a place to land. So the Russians made a place to land here in Bessarabia. So they went to,
Ah,
cost me. It cost me a lot. I made sure I took Bessarabia because 2 of the Italian can openers are gone. The third one is in the bombing sites of the Americans, and he will have none.
wow.
But if I can brag a little bit, at the same time, I took Northern Italy, so he can't build anything there. So he would have no ability to even replenish his can openers.
Very good.
But the only problem with that strategy, uh, dice.
Yeah.
Here's bomber versus tank. Whoops, I missed. Yeah, guess what? Here's the 3. So this tank survives. But the story here that I'm telling goes to the Australians. So if you played any G40, you know what a big deal these Italian can openers are.
Yes.
They really put the Germans on their heels. So here's his surviving tank. Guess what? Adam, of course, he replaced his fast movers with 2 more mech that are bringing up the rear. But that tank's out there in the front, kind of causing some issues. And let's see. Tank's untouchable up here. Mech's untouchable. We're talking about the best player in the world here. And yes, I will keep that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So here he sticks his neck out, he can opens with those 3 Italian ground units. My Australians are still out of range. They've been protecting the Chinese this turn.
Yep.
And then he can opens again. I think this was maybe a mistake, or he dared me to do it. So he can opens from Bryansk to Rostov because then that opens the gates for the Germans to take Stalingrad and Caucasus, which, as we all know, is 14 IPCs, and you stop
Right.
the production. So he really wants to do that. So he can opens, and I grit my teeth again because he killed 2 Russians and lost nothing. That's hard to take.
Yeah.
And then I've got my Australians ready for that move in Northwest Persia, and this time I got some luck when I really, really needed it. But I
Very good.
think it prolongs my agony. I mean, if I just get bad luck in one of these spots, I'd be done, and it would all be over.
Right.
It was a teeth clenching moment because I roll for 3 fighters against 2, no, 3 Italian ground. So this is almost an even up airstrike. I get 1 hit.
My
Say your heart,
goodness.
he gets 1 back. Okay, I can take that. Now it's 2 against 2. I got,
Oh, there you go.
and he whiffed.
He
So not
whiffed.
only did I break the can opener, I've got 2 fighters to break another one in the future. So
Nice.
that's a big deal in G40.
It is.
But let me balance the scales here by showing you where I should have lost the game completely. Um, I made a little mistake here with Egypt. So he has these two Italian ground units staying alive in North Africa. They've been running around, just staying alive. Egypt's empty right now, but I see it coming. He's got a fighter in range he can attack with, a couple ground units. So I buy and I move, and I've got that. This isn't the time. It might be earlier. Yeah, that's not the time, but I can find it pretty easily.
Sure.
Um, if you've never played AAA, look what you can do.
I know it's got so much functionality. I'm playing a lot, 5 games at least a day on 42 online, and there's
Oh,
just
wow.
zero functionality. It is you make a mistake or you want to make an adjustment or don't understand something, you're screwed.
Really?
And you can't see the history till you're done, and you can't study other people's games. This is so much better.
It's this game. There's a tank and a bomb. Anyway, I do. He
Take your
took.
time. You're good. Take your
Oh,
time.
thanks. I feel like I'm pressed for
No,
time.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm enjoying
Okay,
myself.
it's here. It's right here. So this is his Italian position right now. He's got infantry, artillery, tank. He's got a bomber up here. And I must have sort of napped at the wheel a little bit here. I have an infantry and artillery here. So here's the problem. Here's Adam going into round Italy 7. And I miss that he can blitz this with a tank, hit Egypt with a bomber, and potentially take Egypt over.
Huh.
And that's death because the Germans can cover it with fighters
Uh,
before Britain can. All I've got is a mechanized infantry, and these planes are out of range.
mm,
So if I lose Egypt right here, I'm done because he'll hold it. I won't be able to take it back, and it's over.
yeah,
So
yeah.
here's what he does. Um, so he takes his bomber and tank in here. And so his odds are, this is relevant. So he's going to lose the bomber first. So this is
Sure.
an all out play, not all out as in he's still fine if it fails. That's the thing.
Yeah.
To be honest, let's see. I might not be able to. It doesn't take that long to calculate. That my computer's slow right now. It looks like it's about
Oh my
80-20.
goodness. Wow.
It's game over right there. And so now the dice decide to bail me out, like resuscitating the guy who's gonna die. So that I can come back out of the torture water and live for a longer for him to play with. So here's the dramatic roll. He's got a 3 and a 4. He gets his hit. Well, the British hit back. So now it's tank against infantry for the game. There's his tank hit. Oh, the game's
Oh.
longer. Thanks for indulging me there. I can
No,
stop. We're in
that's a lot
round.
of fun. That's a lot of fun.
We got rounds to play unless I screw up again like that.
I
Um,
tell you, this looks like it needs a bigger bid, allied bid. I don't know. I, it, yeah. I mean, obviously he's a very good player, but I think I'd be asking for 20 more myself. But wow, well, yeah,
well,
I didn't see the American fleet over in Hawaii. Can you? And
that's where we're at right now. So it's America's turn. Yeah, this is good stuff here too. Um, I did build 2 bombers last turn. I'm trying to, and I don't care if Adam hears this. I'm trying to turn up the heat on Germany a little bit. I've flown a bombing mission over him before with 2 bombers. I lost one. So send in a couple more because I think I have time in the Pacific Theater.
right.
That is because Japan needs 6 cities,
Mm,
and Adam let me get India back. And I've got it back strong. And so he still doesn't have that. But he's got major fleet dominance. That is an 8 right there. That's
Wow.
8 carriers. He's been buying. He's got unbelievable number of planes, but just the 2 starting bombers.
Huh.
He's
Huh.
got 3 Marines going. He's got 2 battleships and a cruiser. So he's got 3. It's his balanced mod, and he's going to buy Marines, baby. You know how many Marines I've bought?
0?
0. Yeah.
Wow. No kidding. Hmm.
Too expensive. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just amazing to me that he's got a fleet that is that big. Huh. Wow.
Yeah, it's a problem. So I don't mind talking about a game in progress. It's not like it's gonna hurt my case anyway. So I still play like it's out of the box. So I'm used
Sure.
to India falling fast and hard. And so I just my instinct is to build up defenses on Australia and Hawaii.
Gotcha.
I'm holding on to the Carolines so that he can't fork me from there. He can't take it, or he could, yeah, he can't take it right now. And he doesn't care about, I mean, it's kind of like a second grader fighting against a sixth grader. So he's not worried. He's just not worried. Um, so I have weaker American fleets than anybody. I only have 3 carriers there and 1 down here. My thinking is what I hate to do is get strong with America, start pushing against Japan. Japan throws a little bit more defense out, and you just can't crack the wall. And so all that investment is not getting you anything. I need a midway, but you don't get a midway in this game usually.
Hey, I'm sorry. I just have to. I'm gonna pause this for just a second.
Okay.
I'm getting a call from
Okay.
my daughter.
Oh,
Okay, we are back at it. Go ahead.
all right. I appreciate this overtime you're giving me.
Sure.
So as promised, we'll get a little dual action here of this is a top flight match between experienced players using the balanced mod. And so we're going to look at China here, where inland territories need to have a Japanese ground unit on them as a garrison. And so he's got that going here.
Wow.
Japan doesn't count. It touches the coast. So China's sitting here waiting to see who's going to kill them, the Germans or the Japanese. And here's another. Okay, I got to point this out. 2 distinctive things about Adam that are not normal. This is my first game against him, 10
Sure.
round.
Yeah.
Uh, like me, he loves the transports over the complexes. The transports can move your men wherever you want them. Get the men onto Asia from Japan.
Sure.
Complexes are kind of the lazy or scared way, like, oh, the Americans might come sink me, so I don't want to rely on transports. He built 1 complex. He's only been building 3 ground units a turn this whole time. And now I don't think it was enough because he's still got an India monster.
Sure.
But I heard somebody told me, well, he likes his second complex to be India.
Huh.
Well, I'm not giving it to him. So here you see a balanced mod rule in play, what it looks like. This is round 10, and he hasn't crushed China or India yet, largely because of the China garrison rule, and that's a good thing.
Hmm. So, I mean, what I'm seeing here, I'm always interested in pinning. So, if you look at this and you say, well, um, he's got these guys here, and it doesn't look like he's in a hurry at all.
No.
Um, it looks to me like to me his game-winning move looks over in the Middle East and up into Caucasus and Stalingrad. If there's going to be a victory out of this, it's going to be Germany winning this game. It looks to me like that, at least. I could be completely wrong about that, but it looks to me like Germany.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you've got so many Russian troops.
That's my
So
favorite country, remember?
yeah, 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 yeah. Huh. Well, interesting game. As much as your dollar for dollar value is
Hmm.
your IPC income is almost even.
Yep.
Um, I mean, it looks to me like you've got a nice foundation, and there's a lot of, like I said, there's an arms race that's somewhat even in a lot of ways, and I'm looking for someone to have the advantage. And you're not far off. If you're off, you're not far off.
Yeah, my thing has been, of course, I've been playing it for hours. It's a really good assessment for looking at it for minutes. Um, so as the couple games I've lost against the great ones in the last couple years, they've been demonstrating that with the Axis, there doesn't need to be a rush. They just need to get like income parity, and then they start playing defensively as the Axis, which still bugs me. And
That
uh,
that's imbalanced.
so
That's
my
that's
problem
that
is like
that's imbalanced.
my
Um,
problem is I can't crack anywhere.
right, because it's not balanced. They're saying it's balanced mode, but that's not balanced because there should be an urgency, which is in almost every Larry Harris version of this game. Is the Axis have to act quickly, and apparently not. So that's a
Okay,
little
I see what
frustrating.
you're saying.
That's a little
So
frustrating.
it's balanced in the sense that Axis and Allies wins are almost even. But what I'm hearing you say, I'd like to say in another way that I know you're going to agree with. Um, the balance to be better balanced, you need to have more allied income. You need to have the allies be an unconquerable beast if you can't get them fast.
Right,
And
exactly.
that's not the case here.
No, no, no. Well, when I saw like I said, um, I do appreciate when you have places on the map that will give a bonus to either side. I like that.
Yeah,
However, the $3 kiss to Japan, I didn't understand that. The
that,
Okinawa
that one, I
Iwo
didn't get
Jima
a chance
thing,
to, I don't like that one.
not a big fan of that. Right away, I was like, Japan doesn't need any more help. Um, so not a big fan of that. And I've talked to people like, for instance, Grasshopper when he was doing his rule set, and he would be like, "Well, I don't like to give something to the Allies without giving something to the Axis." I'm like,
Well,
the Axis don't need any help. They
yeah,
do not need any help. And
right.
and if the good captain and I were talking once, and if you read classic rule set
Uh-huh.
at the end of the classic rule set, there's a paragraph that says, well, we would all like it if the Allies won
Oh,
every
yeah,
time.
I remember that.
Yeah. So, I would like if there was a bonus going. If you're going to do, let's put it this way, if you're going to push for changes for balance mode 5, make it so the Axis have to bid. Come on. Can we get one game where maybe besides anniversary where the Axis have to bid, where the advantage is Axis allies instead of the Axis? It's a little frustrating. And I, and between you and me, I have a personal feeling that most people like it that the Axis have the advantage. But it's logistically more difficult to win as the Allies because we have to cross oceans.
Yeah.
It's just that's and
They
we
have to
have
work together. The Axis have the centralized, since an Axis and allies, a single power attacks all at once, since they have one power that's in the best location. Japan and Germany are in the best locations and they have all the power. Um, yeah, that's another reason it's hard with the allies, is the US and the UK can't attack together.
And most of the time, the Japanese transports can really easily stay with the fleet and along the coast, which,
Yeah.
whereas the Americans, a lot of times there'll be suicide transports, which always leads me to say that Larry Harris's own father went on a suicide transport, unescorted transport across the Pacific
Oh.
Ocean. That happens.
So you're gonna like this. So first of all, when I switched to balance mod years ago, when they came out with it, like you, I immediately did not like the Iwo Okinawa NO. In fact, with the first couple guys I played, they agreed to house rule it out.
Oh, wow.
We just didn't play with it.
Yeah.
And if yeah, I mean, I risk, but if you elect not to do Vichy and not to do the EWO NO, your bids just got smaller.
Ah,
So you're gonna like this if you look at the screen. I'm in round three. Uh, America has gone twice, and look what happens to EWO.
ah,
So no +3 for Japan. And he doesn't take it back until that's still green.
ah,
He doesn't take it back until around 10,
wow.
where we're at right now. He just took it back for the first time. So that's what I think of that +3 NO. I'm just gonna take it. Now
Yeah.
here's where we're at in the game right now, and I'm supposed to be moving America instead of talking to Randy. America on the 4th of July. Um, so yeah, actually, I don't really have. I could attack Ewo with two infantry and have a 67% chance, which I can't do, and he would welcome. But if I really want Ewo back as a matter of pride and principle, I could get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yep, that's a balance mod NO.
Okay.
Let me think real quick if there's anything that's kind of unique about the balance mode that you can see right now. And I think there is. Here you go. This British destroyer is in zone 84 because of his rogue Jap sub that was trying to do Magellan. Out here
Gotcha.
trying to be hard to catch. And it was an interesting move because to get that, the only destroyer I had was here in 92.
Ah,
It could go 1, 2, 3. I had a plane on Gibraltar, so I could go get it. But that put me out of position, and I
yeah.
really need a destroyer up here.
Yeah.
So that was a factor, and it's pretty cool that I had to go hunt down a sub in the Atlantic that in
Yeah.
out of the box that would just I mean I have to worry about him convoying here, but when you have that NO, his sub was probably going to head here out of range of every.
Sure. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he'd be trying to convoy Brazil for 2, and he'd be sucking 3 on the NO. So I had to go get him while I could.
Hmm. Hey,
Um,
can you show me the player incomes again? I just want to
okay,
see
sure.
the individual. Um, so if we're looking at the average incomes here, if you go up a little bit on the right side, so the Germans are making 76.
I actually need to go to resources. We'll add in the NOs.
Okay. So 76, Russians are at 25, Japanese are at $75, Americans are 82, China's at 3, British at 48. Okay, that's impressive.
That's those NOs.
Okay, so I mean, so the Americans are about 10 up. The British are significantly up, probably 9, 10 up. Um, at UK maybe 3 or 4 up.
You're up
Uh,
3 for that Indian NO.
and
But
then Anzac is maybe 5 up, 10 up.
1. Oh, well,
Okay,
they
yeah.
have 20 right now, but that's because I saved some money. They're getting
Oh,
16. So that's the
gotcha.
automatic 3. Plus, I finally got this 3 here.
Ah, gotcha.
I didn't go for it early like most people try to do, but they throw away the Australian transport to get that. And I know Adam's going to want New Guinea for strategic purposes as well. Let's talk about Britain's money.
Sure.
Um, and the Mediterranean and how important these are in the balanced mod. So Britain has, the Allies have Malta, Crete, Cyprus. That's 3.
Yeah.
They have all original territories, which is 3. If the Axis takes Cyprus, that disrupts original territories. Um, and no subs in the Atlantic is 3. And oh, this is an interesting one. They have the one where if the Allies control Sardinia, 2 of these, Sardinia, Rome, Sicily, Greece, Britain gets a +3. So here, I had Sardinia and Sicily, He took it back with the Italians. Of course, he didn't lose anything.
Yeah.
Uh, it's like I'm in this game, doesn't it? And then I managed to get Greece and hold it for now. And so with this one plus Greece, and there has to be a ground unit, the British are getting all four NOs. So score, score, score,
Wow.
score.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why plus 45. And
Wow.
I don't even have Holland or Normandy.
That's amazing.
You're cracking 50 there. So I would just go out and say the balance mod is really fun. With a little more money for Russia, UK, and the US, um, you can do more stuff.
Sure.
You can keep the unstoppable Axis force from steamrolling you so easy. And we got a game here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Huh. Well, thank you for sharing this.
Thank
We'll
you
be
for the time.
watching with anticipation. I'm hoping to connect with you next week. Just to let you know, I mean, I have vacation. I do have a game test with Larry, not Larry Harris, but Tom Gale. His Imperial Borders is coming out, and they're looking for a two-player version of a mod for that. So I'll be doing that next week, um, which is fun. But I'm hoping to do a review of one, like either the game we were doing or one of your games you wanted to show us. Um, I want to see your Axis for prowess, some more of that. So, and that out of box is always more is interest still to me as much as there's
Okay, yeah,
lots of
so I have
cheese.
the trifecta there for you. The game with O Stylo is out of the box with tech. It's almost like I played this before you. It's with tech, with a fancy redesigned map that has us both confused, and
Excellent.
the one where he's suffocating me with, especially with the help of that bid, and he's getting the four African NOs for Russia, which is just terrible for me. But I got London, and so UK can't build anything for probably forever.
Wow.
But then he came back and he got heavy bombers, sir. You got to
Wow.
with America.
Wow.
He's been investing in tech. I've been shying away, going
Yeah.
just for units. And he had about 9 heavy bombers that came and sunk my Sea Lion fleet. You gotta love that one. I lost a lot of planes. I lost all my 9 transports. So all that big army on London is kind of stranded on an island right now. So US won't be taking it back, but I need those tanks going at Russia. So I don't know how much longer I can stop Russia I'm at East Poland just hanging on for dear life and waiting. But now I got all that money. I rate okay.
Right.
So that's where that one's at. It would so I think you'd like that one.
Yeah, I play with tech a lot, and I'll tell you the tech that underperforms is super subs, and the tech that overperforms is heavy bombers. So I will say that's my evaluation. So, well, I got to get going, but thank you so much for the time tonight, Ted and Gamer Man. That was great. I'm wishing you good luck tomorrow and good hunting as you go beyond the pinning and edge forward and somewhere. Looks like, I mean, your Russia and your Great Britain look fantastic. So, um, yeah, good luck.
Thanks.
Happy Fourth, and
And you.
that's Crockett out.
Bye.